This is another one of those videos where we're probably going to get a little bit uncomfortable, and you're probably not going to feel comfortable sharing this, and I understand, because I definitely wasn't the first time that I heard this story. But I need to explain why the protesters in Iran, you see them burning this statue of Moloch, and I need to explain why they're burning the statue of Moloch, and then how I came to this realization and this information that I'm about to share with you guys. So this was about a year ago when I first started to research World War II, and I first started going down the rabbit hole of who was Hitler, what was this man about? And you start getting some of his speeches that were translated from, German into English, and you hear the words that this man is saying, and you're like, wow.
Then came the decline of our culture, these mounds of contamination of our entire cultural life, the decomposition of our literature, the poisoning of our theater, of our movie theaters. All the art is now falling for it. Millions of Germans no longer participate any longer. It does not appeal to them anymore. This art was not born from our people. It is foreign to us and will remain foreign. That has nothing to do with the German character and did not come from our soul. It was imposed on our people by a subversive press which made it acceptable, and parallel to this, already the assault begins against the education of our children's brains. The tearing out all the memories of our German past, the insult to all the great men of our people, the removal of its memory from the hearts and brain out of the German youth.
So I started to join a few of the JQ radio spaces, just questions. We're just asking questions and we want some answers to, but we're not allowed to answer those questions because it's anti-Semitic, right? So in this Twitter space, people are sharing intel, and then one person gets the mic, goes by the name of 1984, and he goes, yeah, I'm just sick of these, rabbis. They suck bloody baby penis and blah, 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 blah. And he goes on this rant about how rabbis suck bloody baby penis. And I instantly jump into the DMs. I'm like, yo, bro. I'm like, dude, I like a lot about what you say, but when you say shit like that, man, you just push people like me so far away because it's fucking crazy, man. Like, saying shit like that does so much to hurt the truth and the movement from coming out. And he's like, bro, I know you're new to this, but what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, dude, you just said that the rabbis suck bloody baby penis. He goes, it's in their Talmud. I'm like, what the hell is a Talmud? He's like, dude, it's their version of the Bible. And then boom, starts hitting me with scripture after scripture after scripture from this thing that's their Bible. And I'm like, what in the hell? I know there's some crazy stuff in our Bible, but this was like demonic stuff. Like, it's okay for one of God's chosen people to rape a 3-year-old girl and it's also a death sentence. But it's not a death sentence for them. It's a death sentence for the little girl because it was her fault that one of God's chosen people was sexually turned on and attracted to her and raped her, okay? So he sends me this video. Check this out.
Metzitza B'Peh is an ancient Jewish Talmudic blood ritual in which a Mohel rabbi uses his mouth to suck the blood from a baby's penis directly after it has been circumcised. This satanic ritual has been performed for thousands of years and is still practiced up until this very day on thousands of newborn babies. This ritual has caused the death of many infants due to the transmission of the herpes virus that gets passed down from the rabbi to the baby. In spite of all the potential danger to the baby and its sick and twisted nature, it is still performed daily across the globe, and it is rigorously defended by the Jewish community.
Okay, so what you just watched there is a ritual called a mitzvah. 8 days, a mitzvah buffet, and I'm probably slaughtering the name of that. 8 days after a Jewish child is born, a boy, he goes into the synagogue. I can't even say that word, right? Because right now on X, if you say the words SOS, synagogue, blank, blank, if you say that terminology, the video is going to get labeled, or the tweet will get labeled as hate speech. So if you literally quote the Bible on X right now, do it. Go quote any Bible verse where Jesus talks about the SOS and see what happens to your tweet. Instantly flagged and labeled as hate speech, okay? So these people have amassed so much control because they are terrified of the truth coming out. Now, Moloch is who they were sacrificing children to. That's what these people believe. They don't believe just in sacrificing children. They believe in sacrificing our children, taking their blood, putting it into Passover, into their bread and eating it. So when you hear the terminology like a blood libel, and I don't even want to say it too loud on here because I feel like it's going to get censored, this is all coming out of their scripture. And it's dark and it's demonic and it's evil. So when you see the people in Iran out in the streets burning these statues, they're burning them to defile their God. Their God is Satan. They worship Remphan. It's not the Star of David, that's the Star of Remphan. Okay? That's what Jesus used to lock Satan in. And that's what these people believe, and that's who they worship. I know you might not want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it at first. But if you just Google how many babies have died from contracting the herpes virus in New York City after a rabbi performed a ritual, you will see. Get on Grok and search. Children dies after contracting herpes from rabbi, and see what comes up on your search results. It's dark, it's demonic. I didn't want to share this video. I know it's going to make you very uncomfortable, but ignoring the fact that we are at war only does a disservice to yourself. Once you wake up and realize that there's a very small group of people who don't only want to kill us, they want to kill our children, and they want to chemically castrate our children. And you start to realize that every dark demonic force and every one of these rabbit holes, doesn't matter if it's Epstein, doesn't matter if it's the Franklin scandal, doesn't matter if it's COVID-19, doesn't matter if it's the vaccine, doesn't matter if it's who controls the FDA and the Food and Drug Administration, doesn't matter who's controlling our military and allowing the geoengineering to take place in our skies, who's poisoning our waters, who's putting the fluoride in our water, who put the fluoride in our children's toothpaste. It's always them. And I have a feeling if you figured out who put the lead into our children's Lunchables and then got our government to pass the law that made Lunchables an eligible choice to be served on our children's food menu at school, I have a feeling you're going to figure out exactly who was behind it. So call me what you want to call me. Call me an anti-Semite, call me a lot of things, but you ain't going to call me a liar. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments.